Welcome to the Experiential Simulations project management game called Milestone. This game simulates managing a project through several tasks. While the tasks and their dependencies are given, your job is to make the initial project plan accounting for dependencies, costs, resource loading, and duration, and then manage the project during its implementation while attempting to maximize multiple objectives. In addition to the traditional cost, schedule, and qualities, or deliverables, in the top right corner is the sentiment of the stakeholders in the project sponsor, the organization's executives, and the team. Their sentiment determines their level of enthusiasm and coordination during the project and the success of user adoption of the project's results. Their sentiment changes during the project depending on the actions that you take. For example, the stakeholders have a priori expectations about cost and duration, which, if not met, reduces their sentiment. At the end of the game, a final score is computed, which is a composite of many elements, including cost, schedule, stakeholder sentiment, and risk management. Upon pressing the End Turn button, the simulation will determine which tasks are complete and which risks have occurred. During each turn, note in the top right corner how many tasks have been completed, the stakeholder sentiment and messages, and which risks have occurred. Then navigate to each of the 5 screens, inputting your project management choices to optimize the project. Note that choices tend to cost money and take time, and yet can minimize risks or improve the likelihood of a successful project. Now let us get started. Starting with the main screen, we note the details of the project, such as the budget and number of team members. In addition, on the right of the screen is the number of tasks done and the stakeholder gauges. The level of stakeholder satisfaction with the project is a key metric. Generally, staying on budget and time while delivering the results expected and having a good team environment tends to result in higher stakeholder levels. On the right of the screen, we can see the project details, such as cost and duration. Below the project details screen, we see a set of messages that can give an indication of stakeholders' concerns and risks that have occurred. On the project control screen are a variety of activities that can be undertaken to create a favorable project environment and should impact the stakeholder levels. Note that as the project is implemented, some activities will no longer be available. For the Human Resources screen, the object is to build a Gantt chart that satisfies the budget variables such as duration and resource allocation. In the top chart, enter the number of team members per task along with the start date and duration. Note that the End Turn button will not function if there are allocation issues with the work breakdown structure and Gantt charts. In the Task Monitoring and Control screen, select a task and a scope, quality, cost, and schedule option. Determine whether to increase, decrease, or maintain this option. On the Risk Management screen, choose a task and the appropriate risk response. On the Task Resources screen, choose resources that you wish to use to help succeed in completing a task. Finally, select the End Turn button when you have entered all of your screens. Upon pressing the button, the game will return to the main screen. Note whether a task has been completed and any risks have occurred. At this point, each turn is played in the same way until the game is ended. At the end of the game, your final score will appear as well as the world averages. The game can be played 5 times with a new project each time. Enjoy the game and focus on creating a successful project environment that manages risk and optimizes several project metrics. And remember, students are always able to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. And remember, you can always come chat with us for any questions you may have on our live agent support. Go to www.experientialsimulations.com. or send us an email at info@experientialsimulations.com.